Today, we're going to talk about the singles scene. So we're going to talk to you about quitting to walk into the bar with your fake snakeskin boots and trying to pick up on anybody. Okay, never mind. We're actually talking about training for singles. A proven strategy from Jeremy Hornstra to Paul Anderson to Bob People on a who's who of strength athletes. So why singles? Well, think about it. Singles are one of the best way to build limit strength. Limit strength is your base for everything. Okay, what is that? That's how much force you can move in one all-out effort regardless of time. AKA how much you can lift on a 1 rep max. So a lot of people will talk about, different, I got this rep max formula. I deadlifted this, or I bench pressed, 225 8 times. So now I'm doing 285, 290. Most of those formulas are completely erroneous. If you look at like some of the research Fred Hatfield did, he would test different lifters, put 80% of their max on different lifts and have them do it for as many reps as possible. And the range would be anywhere from sometimes like on the low end of 3 reps, and sometimes people are doing like 21 reps. So, and if you look at that, I mean, how can you just go in arbitrarily like 5 sets of 5 on squat today when this person can't even do 80%, 5 sets of 5 with 80%? Well, this dude over here can't do it for 1 set. The guy does 21 reps. That's like a warm up. So point being, the singles kind of allow a little more variability in what we're doing here. There's also sort of some stigma with singles, just talking about, are you demonstrating strength or are you actually building it, okay? If all you ever do is just do a 1 rep max and leave the gym, well, of course, you should be demonstrating after a while, but say in your deadlift, you go 80% of your max for 12 singles with a 30-second break in between. That's a lot of work. Think about safety. Everybody thinks singles are unsafe. However, think about it. If you're going 90% for all-out max, what are you thinking about? You're not concentrated in the moment of what you're doing. One more rep, give me one more, and your form breaks down. Singles allows complete concentration on exactly what you're doing. Singles are sport-specific for strength athlete. When we talked before about your limit strength, think about powerlifting. Powerlifting is pure limit strength. You get tested on your 1 rep max. So what is more sport specific than training with singles? So today we're going to look at some different ways that people train with singles. That's the Dinosaur training singles method, popularized by one of the great authors of Dinosaur training, Brooks Kubik. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 5 singles in 1 workout. You're going to start light and progressively add weight each set. The final set should be near a max effort. Initially, you can work up to say like a 2 rep max for a single on your last set. Then weekly, you're going to take jumps from there, and how long you're able to do this would just depend on each individual person. And what sort of you can evolve off that the Dinosaur training method is something that one of the greatest Olympic lifters of all time back in the day, John Grimmick, used to do. So like, for instance, he's doing a movement like overhead press. He would do pretty much what Brooks just described right there. But at the end of that, he would add a push press to it. So he would go, say, like the 5 singles on a military press, and after he could no longer do the military press, he would change it into a push press, so the military press with leg drive. So you could do something like that. In the bench press, same thing, then add like some boards or something like that. So sort of like a reverse mechanical advantage drop set type of thing. Now we're at the submaximal single. They're all submaximal singles here unless you're just maxing out. But what you're going to do is you just find a weight. You can do, say, 75, 80%, whatever it is of your max, resting anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds, but you don't add weight or anything each set. You do the same weight straight through, focus on perfect technique and compensatory accelerating the weight. Or what we just did is singles cluster training. This is a very, very neurologically demanding method of training. And if you don't burn yourself out, you can make serious strength gains. You have to be very careful with it. So what you do is you take 90% of your max and you perform a single. You rest 20 seconds between each single repetition. And what you do from there is you do 4 to 6 singles. Then you rest 5 to 7 minutes and repeat the process 1 more time. So like I said before, this is very demanding, and you would not want to do this methodology week in, week out. And just be careful with it. I'm just presenting information here. That was daily max training. So daily max training, what it is a lot of people train this way every day. So like Bulgarian Olympic lifters and things like that, you work your way up to a max in that lift for that day, and it could be every day. The key there is, though, when you say max, here's the guidelines so you don't completely burn yourself out. You stop when you have to psych yourself up. So if you're having to, you walk up to the bar, deadlift, whatever, or do a clean or whatever, but once you start having to really psych yourself up in that competition mindset, you just stop. Any technical breakdown, stop. Don't load yourself up on pre-workouts. It's a daily max without getting yourself psychotic. That's density training. So with density training, there is no exact parameters. The idea is you pick a frame of time, so 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, and you tell yourself you have to hit a certain amount of singles in that time. So you're on 15 minutes and you have to hit 20 singles within that time frame. You make sure you hit those 20 singles, and once you hit those 20 singles, you add more weight. So you're just basically, density means you're performing more in that amount of time. You're making the training volume more dense before progressing the weight. Finishing off with Jim Williams Rockview Penitentiary style rest pause training. Put anywhere from 85 to 95% of your max on the barbell. Rest 15 to 30 seconds between sets, and this is open-ended. You do as many singles as possible before you reach momentary muscular failure. Some guidelines to maximizing the effectiveness of singles. Perform each repetition in a compensatory acceleration style of training. So that means you put maximum force into the barbell each time you lift it with the intent of moving as explosively as possible without sacrificing any technique. Concentrate on singles. Build technique. You're going to lift in competition for 1 rep, so practice it the right way here. The way to get to Carnegie Hall is practice, practice, practice. And powerlifting's Carnegie Hall, the big stage, is the exact same way. Vary your weights. 70% of your max, 15 seconds between sets for 12 singles is great. 4 singles at 90% is great. Just don't do the same thing all the time. Piling more weight on the bar is very important, but you have to think outside the box. You need to look at varying rest periods and things like that, but you're not going to be able to keep adding weight each week on the bar, and don't do singles all the time.